Well, Coach, I know that you are getting prepared for Senior Day, and it's going to be an emotional one for a lot of people. But Jerk, especially, she's been here for. She was a transfer, but she's been here for a whole career now.
I know.
What has she meant for you? Because you've been able to coach her for 3 years. It's kind of uncommon now. It seems like to coach someone for that long. And what she meant for your team?
Yeah, obviously this one's special to your point because it's a unique career because she's going to be here 4 years and played 1 year at another school. But why it's so special to me is the time and age of today's climate. And what I mean by that is I come in as a first-time head coach, and her career is in my hands, and at that point she had to make a decision. So she had to get to know me, trust me after she's already made one move. She was willing to stick with me and then try to get this program to another spot. In my early coaching career, one of my fondest memories, and I have a picture in my office, is her slapping Mississippi State's name on that board when we beat Illinois in that first round of the NCAA tournament play-in game, and I'll never forget that moment. And then, like I say, even with today's time, today's key to success is retainment, right? Retaining players, knowing that you're doing a good job, know that they feel valued, and most importantly, they have a great experience. So for her to be with me as one of my top players for all 3 years is a statement that I'm forever grateful and proud of. And then just most importantly, for her as a person. Obviously, everybody sees us on the court and the dog that she is, and she leads by examples. But we've had a lot of great moments, whether we've went to amusement parks in Orlando, her coming over to my house, and having hard conversations that are just moments I'll never forget in my coaching career.
You had your second midweek conference bye this week. So what were some of the focuses in practice? Obviously, coming off a tough one on Sunday in Gainesville as you prepare to take on Texas A&M.
Yeah. So I enjoy this one. Obviously, I didn't enjoy it coming off of the Florida loss, but we watched the film. What a unique week it was last week for us. You have two situations that are the same. One that came out in our favor at Vanderbilt and one that didn't. So a team, again, that we've talked about all year that lacks returned experience and moments. I keep on saying it, you got to go through the ringer and you got to learn. So film is the best answer to that. So we watched a lot of film. We focused a lot on execution over the last 2 to 3 days because when you look at our defense, which we've been focusing, we've done a good job of holding people under their season average. Now, is it still to our level that we want to be? No. But we're holding people under their average. But the offensive execution has been a real focus on what we've got to do to clean up things here finishing out the month.
About a month ago, you were talking about Denham and how a lot of her impact goes beyond the box score that doesn't really show up there. And I believe you described her as the little engine that could.
Yeah.
And I think she's had a pretty unique path just on her way here to being a starting point guard in the SEC. And so what do you just think of the impact that she's had this season and how she's gotten to this point?
Yeah, it's been huge. To your point, when you have a good team, you got to have people willing to do team things and sometimes things that other people don't want to do, and she's that. That charge in the Florida game to give us a chance still to win that game at the end of the game there, I think it was 1:30, was huge that people don't talk about. She came out of nowhere and flew in after, I think it was Layla Reynolds beat one of, I think it was Chandler off the bounce. And just her emotion and the passes, even the Vanderbilt game. We're down 5 with a minute. She comes in and I go to a set and she makes an unbelievable jump stops, pivots, throws the backdoor pass to Jerk where everybody's talking about Jerk's layup, but it was Denham's execution that helped us win that game. So just who she is as a person, and like we said, her best basketball keeps getting better. That's what excites me. I thought in the Florida game she was an offensive threat. She had huge threes, so I'm just excited about who she is and how she continues to get better.
Coach, you've obviously had a week off getting ready for this game. Kind of what stands out to you about Texas A&M watching them on the film?
Yeah, so obviously in my 2 years here, first and foremost, I have the most respect for Joni Taylor. She's the ultimate pro. She's one of our top coaches in college basketball. She's an assistant coach for the USA Olympic basketball team. We've had battles where in regular season we've been fortunate, and then obviously she's beaten me in the SEC tournament. So she does a great job of playing power basketball. They're very physical. They try to control the tempo. They don't want to necessarily this year get up and down and run. They want to be great in half-court sets and get to the free throw line and hope you play with not much speed. So that's the best thing about this is after a tough loss on the road where we've been gone for 2 games is to get back home and play in front of our fans, and that's what I'm urging. This Sunday is going to be senior night. All right, so it's going to be a special moment that I'm asking our fans to come out like we always do and help us with that lift as we finish out the month and do this right. Do this right for these seniors, but most importantly, give us the energy and the extra power at home to try to get a huge SEC win here Sunday.
Hey, Coach, you had a lot of success, paint presence, rebounding in that Vanderbilt game. We saw an insane 2K kind of stat line from Medina Okot. And then how do you kind of continue that success? Because we saw the kind of result that happened when you had that kind of paint presence and rebounds. How do you continue that?
Well, first, yeah, amen. That was unbelievable. It was great. The Florida game, obviously, foul trouble came into play really quick. Medina, I think, got 2 fouls in the first 5 minutes of that first quarter. So that's a little reason why I wasn't able to go near Medina as much as I wanted in that fourth quarter because I don't think Medina played the rest of the first half. She comes back in the third quarter, and I think we won the quarter 24 to 15 or 14, something like that. And then again, as we go in the fourth, just right when I was trying to go power basketball, she gets 3 and 4 fouls. So keeping her out of foul trouble. This is a game in the Texas A&M I expect to go 2 bigs. They're very powerful and strong. What they lack in guards, they're going to play 2 bigs. So you could definitely see a little bit more of that. So Sunday.
Sam, I don't know how familiar you are. I've been keeping up with the news about how the Trump administration recently rescinded the guidance from the Biden administration about Title IX applying to NIL and revenue sharing and how those payments should be the same between men and women. Do you have any thoughts or reactions or kind of an opinion about how that should be handled? Or
Yeah, I can't answer in depth on that one because I haven't heard. When did that come out?
like a week or so
Oh,
ago?
it did? Yeah. Unfortunately, we've been so busy in film. I'm just being honest with you because I'm more than happy to talk about that, but I haven't heard the exact details. But I do know this. Title IX is everything. As a girl dad, as a father, right? Opportunities for women. We've talked about this, where the women's game is at right now and the people before us who stand for something. Just imagine if you didn't give the platform and the fight before this to put us on a national stage where now you're seeing the WNBA expand like no other. You're seeing names on Super Bowl commercials of females that were never done before. So I'm a huge advocate for Title IX and what it stands for. So, but to elaborate on some of that, give me a week. I'll read on that for you, and then ask me that question next week. All right, deal? All right.
More questions, Coach? We'll go Bryce in the back.
Coach, we talked a lot about depth, bench depth as well. What have you really seen from Chandler Prater to keep her in that starting lineup and her role that's increasingly kind of been expanding as the games have gone forward?
Yeah, we talked about it at the beginning of the year. First and foremost, it was her health. She's coming off an Achilles, so I knew that when I signed her. And I told her, I had a kid at Louisville who had Achilles injury. I said, just let your body come back. When your body comes back, then your mind will come back. And when your mind come back, now you're going to be playing your best basketball by SEC. And it's hard because she mentally, before she's finally at the spot, knew she could be better. But you just got to get it back. You got to go through the ringer. You got to make it ugly. And so now I think she's back. And then most importantly, it's her attitude. She's played at 2 schools prior to this, so she has a returned experience where she understands what this team needs. She's in the gym every single day. When we've been behind this year, I love her body language. You just see, like, let's go, challenging her teammates, that awesome spin move or a rebound that, creates a tough 2 points. So just her recovery and just trusting the process has been huge. And because of her effort every single day, that's why now you're seeing her in the lineup, and she's been huge for us, and we're going to need her here as we finish out the month. Good. Thanks, y'all. Yep, Sam, I'm serious. Ask me that again. I'll read about all that. Yeah, I apologize.